Hey, Chicago, what do you say? It's CHGO Cubs Pregame Show podcast presented by PointsBet. Use that promo code CHGO when you sign up to get 2 risk-free bets up to $2,000. Luke Stuckmeyer, Ryan Herrera, and Cody Demendo, fresh off getting his 63 wins tattoo on his forearm the other day. We're not going to show that because it's still a little sore.
A little sore, yeah.
A little sore.
I thought, nice and big. I put on the right bicep. That's
but
my
hurts
big
so
one.
good.
It hurts so good.
Oh,
man. Best tattoo I ever got.
Didn't
the
lose
only
100.
tattoo I ever got, but it was the best one.
Actually, you got 63, and then you crossed it off and gave a little 1. Or you should add a 1 to it each time they add 1 beyond 63.
What an all-time
we get the Pirates.
all-time one that would be.
We get the Pirates now.
Ooh, everyone's been juicing up for this one.
Yeah, Pirates,
Hi, Sean.
Phillies, and Reds.
Sean's here. Hi, Sean.
Sean's here.
Thank
Hi,
you, Sean. We appreciate that.
Well, we have 64 now, right? Because they won yesterday.
64.
Woo!
So you can either
6
cross
more to
off
70.
the 63 or just start adding bars.
Yeah. We're at 64. The over-under on the season total at the beginning of the year was 75.5. How many games do we have left? 14? It can happen.
13 or 14?
13.
13. I
13
can't math.
left, including
They won
tonight,
yesterday.
right?
When
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay.
So that
13
pushes
to
70.
go, and I need 10. I need 10 wins.
Push to 70. Woo, would that be
It
something?
can happen.
Or 12 wins. I need 12 wins.
It could happen.
It's not looking great.
It's definitely a non-zero chance. Like there's a chance. I just don't know if I would give it more than like a 2%.
There's a chance that I could lose like 25 pounds by this time in 2 months. But will it happen? Non-zero chance.
But see, there's no chance that I'll be younger by the end of this show. Right?
Definitely not.
There is no chance of. So, Sean's here, fam guy. Rhonda, hello. Rhonda always says hello. I like her
Always.
politeness.
Yeah, Rhonda is always
enjoy
like,
it.
hi, guys.
Agree.
And she always says our names. Like, I always appreciate that.
And usually some sort of clapping emoji or waving emoji.
Yeah.
What would your emoji be for your Cub fandom right now? I feel like mine would be the one where the guy's just going.
Shrug.
He does the emoji with the arms
shrug
like,
emoji.
Well, shrug emoji, yeah.
Well, let me get back to you on that one. Let me look at my phone.
Cody's might be like a cocktail emoji.
Beers, the cheersing,
Or it might just be the big eye, the big eyes where you're like, Anyways, Hayden Wesneski goes tonight. It will be his second major league start, his third appearance in the big leagues.
I like that one, Joey.
With an ERA, his ERA of 2.30. So there's
Coming
been
off the great start. At home.
there's been some positives and a really good start. You hope you get it tonight. What are you looking for? I mean, against the Pirates, I would expect him to shove like he did against, I believe it was the Rockies, right?
Yeah, Rockies. Yeah.
I would hope it's more of that.
Yeah. He is, one of the very exciting things from the last month or two, right? Like, I remember his debut. Mm-hmm. That was pretty great.
Electric.
And then, that first career start and the vibe he has on the mound and the struts after a strikeout and stuff have been very fun. I still don't, listen, you trade Scott Efros, 5 years of control of Scott Efros for a guy like this, if he pitches well again tonight, he probably gets another shot at 1 or 2 more, I think. I can't math again. At least 1 more. And if he pitches well in the spring, I wouldn't mind if he's your a 5 or your 4 or 5. I know they have so many options to be in that rotation, so I don't know what they're going to do, but to me it's maybe not the start of next year if you go out and get a few free agent starters, but maybe by mid-season, if there's an injury or something, you can just insert him in there, and maybe that's where he takes off. I don't know. Maybe he needs more seasoning. Maybe he needs more experience. But again, there's a lot of high upside with him, and I think as a starter. So
yeah, I'd agree with that.
because I don't think you can say that coming into the year you couldn't say that about Steele or Thompson, and Steele proved us wrong, and I think in some instances Keegan Thompson proved us wrong on that too, but after what he did the other night, it's man, he's so good in the bullpen. You might want to just leave him there. You know what I mean?
Isn't that what we said earlier in the season too when he
Right.
was dominating?
Yeah.
He was dominating.
I didn't want him to go to
Yeah,
the
I remember both.
But he was he
he
was so good last night out of the bullpen,
Yeah.
coming off the IL, and it's man, the way he does that, it's like, man, just let him be great at what he's best at and go get yourself another starter, or just, like Drew Smyly can just take a spot because Drew Smiley's been great.
It's a good problem to have.
It is a great problem to have. It's just interesting to think about like what that role for Wesneski could be, and to me, he just has a higher ceiling than either Steele or Thompson, in my opinion, too.
I don't know, but I think it could be either, and that's why they made the trade, because they went from Efros, a very solid reliever, to this guy, Wesneski, who is younger, and not only could be I think his floor is being what Efros was, right? A good reliever. Mm-hmm. You could bring him in, and that slider is going to play, and he can be a good reliever. That's his floor. But he also could be a starter, and maybe even a frontline starter if things work out right. So, and he's younger, so it was a smart trade. It caught, I think, most Cubs fans, including me, I know you guys, by surprise.
And I thought negatively of it upon the first hearing it, and then learned about the guy, and I was like, okay, this actually, I think, works well for both teams. So
agreed. Some of the emojis coming in, by the way. Rhonda's going now.
It's a lot of smiles from
smiley
Rhonda.
face.
Smiley, and then
Will had the melting smiley face heading into.
No, that was mine. That was mine.
That's yours,
Stucky.
Joey.
I don't
understand what that really means. That's a smiley face, but you're sort of melting.
I don't really know what it means either, but to me, it's kind of like
it's like smiling through the pain, kind of.
Yes, we're going nuts here. We're melting, but we're still smiling. And that's like what we just did. We had the party for the 63rd win. I feel like this embodies a lot of that. Things are kind of chaotic here, but we're smiling through it all.
Absolutely, I like that.
And we're melting slowly.
I mean, so Wesneski, I'm curious how many more times he does, how much longer he sticks in the rotation. I know Ross told reporters out in Miami earlier this week that he envisions him having another start, and I think he was referring to obviously the one tonight.
Yeah.
I know Thompson is going to be used out of the bullpen, so that's one spot in the rotation. Yeah. So that's one spot in the rotation that isn't going to be taken up. So I mean, if Steele comes back, that is one. So I'm curious if they'd let Wesneski just kind of ride out the rotation. I think there's maybe only 2 or 3 more times through the rotation at maximum.
I bet you it's at max he's throwing one more time as a starter.
Yeah.
It might be only tonight just because they might start now filtering some guys through and giving them one start to just give them a look. No? Is there anybody they need to do that with where they say, all right, let's give him one look in a game? Well, he deserves one major league start.
Well, when I think about it, Assad obviously is probably going to stick in that rotation. Same with Samson. Well, just to end of the year was what I'm referring to. I don't know if I look down in AAA and think, because again, that's going to take some 40-man maneuvering.
Edberg's not going to start.
He's not starting. So it may be.
Maybe it is 1 or 2.
It could be. They obviously haven't ruled out they haven't said anything like, as soon as he's done with his start, we're going to put him right in the bullpen, right? They haven't said that. It could happen. I know Ross said back in spring training or early in the season that he wasn't envisioning a 6-man rotation. That's kind of where they're at right now with guys coming back, guys coming up, just trying to finish out the season. So yeah, I like this will be interesting to see how he does today. Yeah. And I'm again just curious to see, do they let him get another turn? Do they let him just ride out the rest of the year in the rotation, which again is kind of got 13 games, so probably only 2 more turns to the rotation, if that. I'm nothing that Wesneski really does the rest of the year is gonna make or break how you see him going in the next year. But I'm just curious. I think it tells you a little bit about what they see in Wesneski. If they're like, let's just keep him riding.
I just think if he does get 2 more starts, all it does is give me more excitement about him going into spring. That's all it does for me. Right,
but we've all been excited about what Keegan was as a starter for stretches too, where you were like, okay, well he's At one point, I would have put him ahead of Steele. Now Steele has been more consistent, I think, as a starter. So maybe Steele has now overtaken him. So that kind of leads me to where I want to go. We'll discuss it a little bit, and then you guys chime in too, and we'll try and build it for post-game what we think. Where does your excitement rank for young Cubs pitchers? Top 5, and then in order. So these are just some names I'm throwing out there. And I think we should limit that to guys who have either on the 40-man or have pitched for the Cubs this season. Justin Steele has to be in the conversation, right? Keegan Thompson has to be in the conversation. Wesneski, Hughes, Estrada, Killian, Alzolay. Is there somebody else I'm missing that should be in that conversation? And as I was going through it, the ages of some of these guys, Ryan and I were talking beforehand, and I threw out Alzolay, and we're like, well, I mean, Alzolay, he's been around for a while.
Yeah.
And then you look at his age and say, well, it's the same age as Keegan and Steele. He shouldn't be penalized because he got to the major league level first.
Yeah, and I think you also, I'm not saying give him credit for missing the entire season, but this is like a full year of development that he missed. So I think they're all kind of right around on the same boat. Maybe, again, he got to the majors a couple years ahead of the Keegan and Alzolay, but that 2020 was like barely a season. This year's been pretty much lost for him, except for hopefully he ends the rest of this year healthy. So they're all kind of right around the same spot. It feels like.
I feel like had he not come up, right, and Alzolay was just in the farm system, where would he have ranked as a prospect at 26 going into last season as opposed to the other? He probably would have been high on that list, right? He still would have been. It's an interesting list. Like, you could put a lot of guys in your top 5 out of there, and you could put them in almost any order. I think most people would agree after this season, Steele is number one.
Number one. I think
Steele is number one, but he is 27. I'm not saying that's old. I'm not saying that's old, but if you're saying excitement level, young pitchers, that's only like a little baby knock. But I think Steele's pretty clearly number one.
Well, you shouldn't be saying anyone's old, but
now that is.
Sorry, I had to get that one out.
I mean,
of the way.
Ageism.
No,
we're talking about pure excitement. Like, listen, like I already said it. Like, I think Wesneski has a higher ceiling than Steele and Thompson, and like we've compared Steele, not necessarily pitching wise, but like the mentality. We've compared him to like John Lester. So like, I don't know if he's going to end up having a career like John Lester, and we're going to sit here in 10 years and say that it was similar or anything like that. But Wesneski is only 24. And, it's not like Steele showed glimpses of being a great rotational starter to start. And Wesneski, first start looked great, and then the few appearances before that was pretty good. I think he had one dud in there. Yeah. But other than that, like, he's like, the league hasn't figured him out yet. It took Steele a little bit longer, and like that's why, to me, I think Wesneski has a higher ceiling, and there's more to like there. And that's why he excites me more. That's not me saying that I think he's better or anything, but he does make me feel differently about, can he be part of the next great Cubs team? And I think he is more likely to be able to do that than Justin Steele at this point.
So Wesneski for you might be up at the top. Like, it's okay. It's okay. It's not an exact science. Like you said, it's like, it's your excitement level. It's not you're saying this guy is better than that guy.
Right.
Yeah.
We're talking about excitement level. Like,
he does make me more excited. He definitely has the ability to get more strikeouts. Again, smaller sample size.
Yeah, and I'm thinking in that sense, it's like I'm thinking of more of like who am I confident is going to be a very good pitcher at this level. And when I look at it, Steele is, I think, an easy number one. Wesneski could be a better pitcher than Steele in the long run. But we're still kind of he's 3 outings, 1 start into his big league career. We're still trying to figure out what his role might be on next year's team if he even starts the year in the big leagues. Justin Steele, I think we can all agree, has pretty much locked down a rotation spot.
Yeah.
Like he is going to be in the rotation next year. Whereas Wesneski, we're still looking to see exactly what his role is going to be. We're still looking to see exactly what his role is going to be the last 2 weeks of the season, pretty much. Like, so that's why I think I look at it as like, who am I really confident is going to be a contributor to a competitive Cubs team in the future? I think Steele's number one for me in that, and the way I interpret the question or what we're doing right here. I think Steele's number one in me.
Greg Huss is in the chat.
Yeah, Greg
Shout out
Huss.
to Greg, man.
He said continued development at the big league level is crazy important. Keegan and Adbert are entirely different pitchers than they were as prospects, and that's true. And I mean, Adbert's kind of even mixed it up a little bit since he his 2 times back this year. Me and Brandon keep talking about it, and just he's throwing a curveball more, and I definitely want to kind of dig into that because StatCast can be wonky when they see new pitches and stuff like that. So I do want to dig more into that and see exactly what kind of the deal is with that and how that kind of came about. But same with Keegan. I mean, he developed the slider this year, was throwing it as soon as he not as soon as he became a starter, but kind of midway through that. After a few starts, he was starting to throw that slider, and you're like, okay, like, this is new. This is a new thing for Keegan Thompson. So I agree with that, and you've seen it with Steele as well, continuing to develop, continuing to I mean, he's just he limits barrels at like an elite level. I don't know what it was when he kind of went down, but he was near the top, and like of all qualified pitches, like his barrel rate was so low because guys weren't squaring him up, and that may have to do with the late action on his pitches or whatever it is. But that's all new too. Is like just him not giving up a lot of home runs, not giving up a lot of hard contact, not giving up a lot of barrels. So that was great development out of Steele.
Yeah,
Wesneski, he's not gonna develop into an ace these last 2 weeks of the season, but this is important of just getting him innings at a big league level.
Absolutely,
that's all. So when you look at these guys as prospects and you know how much they excite you as prospects, it's all about what they do when they get here. Wesneski's been good through 3 outings. You want to see more. You want to see that continue.
Absolutely.
And regardless of how much time left in the season.
A lot of people are bringing up like the offense, like Brennan Davis and PCA and stuff in the chat. And like we were mainly just talking about the young pitchers. There's plenty of position players to be excited about. Yeah. Matt Mervis, whatever you want to call him. You know, obviously Davis, like he would be on the roster right now if he didn't have that injury. And PCA, I mean, I was looking at the pictures. South Bend Cubs, shout out to those guys, Midwest League champions last night. PCA, very front, next to the trophy with whoever else in the pictures when they all took the group photo on the field last night. Like, I don't know. I saw it. I'm like, man, I'm envisioning PCA one day at Wrigley with whoever holding some sort of trophy, whether it's
the Crosstown Cup.
Yeah, I don't give a shit what it is. Like just some sort of trophy. Of course, I'd love it to be a World Series trophy, but like the pictures they got with him up front there, like he just looked like a vibe to me, like someone that I'm gonna really enjoy watching play baseball for the Cubs one day. And perhaps maybe next year that'll be if the Cubs are in it and we're at the All-Star break or, you know, late in the season, whatever. Maybe that will actually happen. It all will depend if the Cubs are good or not. If they are not good, he will not be here next year, I don't think. But, there's plenty of position players to be excited about. So, yeah, I just wanted to throw that out there.
By the way, Greg, if you're available on Monday, we're looking for someone to talk on an off-day podcast.
Absolutely.
Always about podcasts. Or about Cubs prospects. Where did I just see the comment from, and I liked it? I think it was Nick. Somebody said Jed's going to trade a fan favorite. Jack R. said Jed will trade a fan favorite this season to make this team better.
And that might be.
And I'm okay with that, by the way, if it's the right guy.
If it's the right guy, And, you know, I've been kind of thinking about it in terms of, like, the 40-man crunch and how many guys there are in the system. I mean, there's a lot of top prospects that aren't 40-man or Rule 5 draft eligible, but there are a few that are. And just not even top prospects are kind of prospects that you hear about. They're like, okay, these guys could be contributors, maybe not stars, but contributors to a competitive team. But obviously one way to help alleviate that the roster crunch is by trading some of these guys that are Rule 5 draft eligible and trying to bring some back. And I mean, I don't see them trading Pete Crow Armstrong or Brennan Davis in that sense, but there are guys that might be right there that could be Rule 5 draft eligible that they end up just as a way to clear a little space off that 40 or what was needed on the 40-man and just and trade for some big league guys. Like I don't know who that could be or who that will be, but that's something you could see. So there might be some tough goodbyes especially if you follow prospects a little closer than we do, like Greg Huss, obviously. Yeah. There might be some tough goodbyes to guys that are in the system that have shown something this year. So,
yeah, if they're saying goodbye to someone like PCA or Brennan Davis, though, there better be that
Shohei Ohtani better be on the other line of that
his last
phone
name
call.
better be Ohtani if that's the case. You know what I mean? Someone like that, at least if it's not Ohtani, it better be someone close to that. But, there's, the last couple days I've been tweeting, hey, this many games left, guys. It's almost over. And, all it is because I'm just, I'm ready to finally dive into, the speculation and, getting excited about the offseason because, honestly, let's be real. We've all been waiting for the offseason for months. And like we keep saying, the rest of these games, the rest of the season don't matter even for development at this point because whatever Hayden Wesneski does the next 2 starts that he has, including tonight, we're not going to think any differently about him. So I'm ready for the offseason. I don't necessarily want to watch any baseball in October, but I will for the sake of this podcast. But, I am excited to see what this franchise does. And we've been hearing it all year that they're gonna do something big in free agency, this or that. It's not just one time, not just 2 times. It's been 4 or 5 times that we keep hearing that the Cubs are linked to this guy or this guy or this guy. So, actions speak louder than words, and I'm tired of talking about it. I just want to see it happen.
Well, and let's just go and for the sake of Captain Positive, that's my new nickname.
Is it?
Let's stick with the fact that they're going to do some of that stuff. Conversation on the Chicago Sports Podcast today will take into post-game tonight which Chicago team has the brightest future. Not baseball, any Chicago sports team. And I'll tell you why I think the Cubs could be at the top of that list.
Ooh.
Maybe should be at the top of that list. I can argue it for a lot of different teams, but the Cubs are one of them. Mm-hmm. Some teams you cannot.
Right.
Some teams the future is not bright. The Cubs you can't say that about. And there are reasons to be, despite, what has been a very difficult season to watch, there are reasons to be excited moving into the offseason. Cody, what are you betting on as football? Speaking of whether or not you should be excited.
We got Thursday Night Football tonight, guys. We got Fun Belt action tonight. Plus the Cubs getting and Hayden Wesneski on the mound. We got, 3 TVs in this place? I know the Sox guys are coming in to watch the Sox game, but I might have to put.
Yet, though, are they?
We might have to just take all the TVs to put football on and the Cubs, and that's it. That's just my opinion. Well,
are we grabbing the couches or the tables today?
It's comfortable in here, so it's not a sauna. I think the couch is the vibe.
I think the couch is leather.
Anyway,
fall in this studio is going to be nice. It's just perfect temperature.
Absolutely.
In this building.
It's a beautiful day here in Chicago.
Until we can't turn the heat off.
Anyway, I love Steelers plus 4.5. Kevin Stefanski is 1-11 against the spread against divisional opponents since he became the coach for the Browns. I know that's a trend, but 1-11 is bad. Also, the Steelers aren't that bad. They got a great defense. That's why I like the under 38.5. It's going to be a gross football game. Honestly, we might not even put the game on. We might just place the bet and then just let it ride. Honestly, that's what I'm thinking because that game sucks. That game's going to be worse than watching the Cubs.
I literally just yawned thinking about that game.
Anyway, this football season, PointsBet is bringing you a better way to bet live on games, which means before this ad is over, you can place a live same-game parlay bet on the next drive to be a touchdown and cash out on your live second-half over bet. With PointsBet, you have access to more live football markets than ever before. Build the perfect live same-game parlay by combining your favorite bets anytime during the game, including spreads, totals, player props, and more. Choose the outcome of the next drive and next points with PointsBet Lightning Bets. So whether you are on the move or on the couch, do it live on PointsBet. Download the PointsBet app today and sign up with code CHGO to get your first 2 bets risk-free up to $2,000. If you or someone you know has a gambling problem and wants help, call 1-800-GAMBLER for crisis counseling and referral services.
Tonight's fiery lineup against the Pittsburgh Pirates as the push for 70 continues on the north side of Chicago. They're playing in Pittsburgh tonight. McKinstry leading off, then Happ, Reyes, Gomes, Bodie, Rivas, Velasquez, Hermosillo, and Morel with Wesneski on the mound. Which, of course, takes us to America's favorite game.
Favorite?
Who you got?
Ooh, baby.
Who you got?
Shall we go over the standings real quick?
Maybe we should.
Go ahead.
All right. So
I was going to say, I think I deserve a point because we said we're going to do one every day,
Oh my
and I was the
God.
only one.
The answer is no. Okay.
I was the only one that
be a
put
no
one
for
in
me,
yesterday.
Dog. That's going to be a no for me, dog.
BS.
You didn't say I'm taking. You said, "Are we doing this still?"
If
And
we
I
are,
said-
and if we
and
are,
we
no
are
one
not.
answered me, so
we
that
are not.
means we are. No one
I
said no, we're
have,
not. So
Me and
I think I
Luke,
get a point.
we shall vote on if we should let Ryan have a point. Me, Luke, and Ryan will vote on this.
I actually.
If you think Ryan should have a point, raise your hand.
Let's let the chat decide. Let's for once let the chat decide. Do I deserve
here
a
we go.
point for
Letting
being
the
the
chat
only
decide.
one to put who
That's
you got in?
worked out.
Anyway,
let me
go
show.
ahead.
I don't know if this camera's going to pick this up. I have something that proves that Ryan doesn't get a point.
What is this? No, I can't.
You gotta push it in closer. There you go. Keep going.
Closer.
Keep going. Keep
Closer.
going. Keep going.
I
There you
still
go.
don't. I still can't
You got-
read it. It's still too
You
blurry.
gotta zoom in.
No, it's not going to work.
It's so blurry. It's so blurry. Make that a GIF.
What does it say?
Nobody wins who you got tonight. That's what it says.
Who said that? When did I say that?
8:18 p.m.
Last night?
I can't verify that.
No,
It's
no.
8:18 p.m. Ryan Herrera says nobody wins who you got.
That was like 3 days
I have
ago.
evidence right here.
No, sorry, Luke. You would be perjuring yourself in court right now.
Oh, my
It's
God.
false evidence.
All right.
I did
Anyway,
not
the
confirm date or the
standings.
time. I just have an 8:18 p.m.
I believe the standings, and correct me if I'm wrong, I believe the standings are 24 to 21 to 19 to 2 to 1.5, 1-1. I believe that's what they are.
that sounds
Plus my
right.
point from yesterday.
No.
No.
It's BS.
So who do we have for tonight?
Yeah, by the
Who
way,
would-
6 p.m. start time is being thrown out there on Twitter. Pushed back. I don't know the reasoning why, but it is.
You're telling me it's raining?
I don't think it's raining. At least I didn't see anyone say it's raining.
Oh no.
Andy Martinez says 6
no.
p.m. Central start.
No.
It's only another 20 minutes, Stucky. You'll be all right.
Oh, there is tarp on the
I
field.
don't have an extra 20 minutes these days.
There is tarp on the
I
field.
mean, you have been here all day,
Pittsburgh.
so I
Okay.
understand what you're saying.
All right, so the tarp
Let's
is
go
on
for
the
it.
field. I'm going Ian Happ.
Okay.
See, Ryan got his pick in for Wesneski early.
Yep.
My phone started pinging. I'm like, what the heck is this? Who you got pick? Wisniewski.
Yeah, Ryan's like,
Which he only had to beat you to it because I can't take him.
Yeah.
Your only pitcher you can take is
Wade Miley.
Yeah.
You're allowed to take Wade
And
Miley. and that's it.
Wisniewski against the Pirates seems like a reasonable pick.
Yeah, I took Morel because who else is there that I guess I could have taken McKinstry, but
And Joey, who did you go with?
I took Morel.
I'm going with Rivas, baby.
Oh,
Bring it home, Alfonso. Bring another win home.
hoping
Need a
for
nice little
Fonzie flashing the leather maybe
Yeah,
over
flash
there.
the
See if
leather.
we can get a hot pick.
Who's pitching for the Pirates tonight? Do we know? Do we care?
I didn't.
Some
I didn't,
guy.
I didn't look. But okay, so I want Wisniewski. This is something I've been looking at, and I was sitting over there trying to make sure I got it all right. Only 12 times so far this season a Cubs pitcher has thrown quality start in back-to-back starts.
Back-to-back quality starts. It's only happened 12 times for the Cubs.
Yeah,
Naked
like
man.
as far as like Stroman throwing quality starts
Yeah.
at back-to-back stars, like
Naked.
Steele back-to-back, like their own individual
Yeah.
starts back-to-back quality starts. Wisniewski has a chance to be a 13th. The 13th
Interesting.
time this season to get a quality start. The only other rookie, you guys, the only other rookie back-to-back quality starts?
This year?
Yeah.
Kinsey Gore?
Adrian
on the
Sampson.
Cubs.
Oh, on the Cubs. I thought you were talking about
He's
baseball.
not technically
I was
not a
like,
rookie.
I don't know. Oh, yeah, I guess he's not.
Matt-
I would have guessed
Matt
that's-
Schwarmer.
The
Oh,
Schwarm
Matt
dog.
Matt Schwarmer, the only other rookie with
Schwarm.
back-to-back quality
Wow.
starts.
I forgot he was even on this team. That's
He had a
he
really
did have a
good
little.
run.
He did have a nice little
He
run.
surprised everyone on Caleb Killian Day.
Didn't they make a
He-
bobblehead of him? Wasn't there a Swarmer
on
bobblehead?
Foco.
Foco.
Yeah,
They got
Foco.
everything, man.
Yeah.
All right.
I guess I could have taken McKinstry. Jack's not happy with that.
Oh, Jack.
Hey, McKinstry got me like 3 points.
Anyways, in the chat, think about this for postgame. Who are your top 5 pitching young pitchers on the Cubs that you're excited about, and in what order? Most excited about in what order? And then also, which Chicago franchise has the brightest future?
On postgame?
On postgame, whenever
Make sure
this
you
game
join us.
ends.
Make sure you're here for that argument. I'm sure it won't I'm sure it'll get heated.
You can also, like, it's on the CHGO Sports Twitter account. We put a graphic out from what the results were from the CHGO podcast today.
Yeah, that is out. Like what the overall. I didn't fully believe in what was being posted there. There were some that I was talked into, and I just had to agree.
Yeah.
But I'll just say this: it's not clear cut for anybody.
Yeah, I don't think
it's not clear cut for anybody.
Also, update out of Miami: Nico Horner's taking grounders and making throws to first base.
Yeah, I saw that throwing now.
Throwing.
Glad to see he is throwing baseballs.
I know he had told us he was playing catch from 90 feet. I want to say on Sunday, but now he's starting to get fully into making throws from shortstop, cross the diamond kind of thing. So, he looks like he's on his way back.
Yep. And final update, that was the fourth heater I've seen naked guy smoking on the balcony.
Same black shorts, no shirt.
Same black shirts.
He is a vibe.
Oh, yeah, I watched him.
I still think it might be Alex Caruso.
He has to have a headband on.
He's got to have a headband, and Alex Caruso doesn't look like a hair on chest guy.
Oh, wait, yeah.
If he doesn't have any hair on his head, I don't think he has any hair on his chest. That's just me.
Nick G said, I hope Nico. Yeah, it's Pittsburgh. I forgot they're in Pittsburgh. Reports out of Pittsburgh, Nico is throwing from shortstop. Not Miami. He is with the team in Pittsburgh.
Niren's most excited about Mike Harkey. Okay. Thanks for checking out the CHGO Cubs pregame show presented by PointsBet. We'll be back here for a full hour after the game. Hope you're going to hang with us. We'll see you then.
ILL.